Dwight Howard is gay. These facts and events all add up. From touching his teammates to having a gay party. This is why I think Dwight Howard is gay. The Superman we used to know is gone, though he had his moments of brilliance with the Hawks and occasional prime Dwight in his latter NBA years. He is a shadow of his high-flying former self. Has his sexuality had any part in his downfall? Stay to the end to find out why he is being sued by his ex-boyfriend for having a gay party. Dwight has been on a different NBA team every season since 2016. Currently in Taiwan, you could say he is retiring there. Now, I don't know what he is changing more, his team or his conviction towards his sexuality. Let's start with his case on trans influencer Masin Elijah. Story goes that Dwight forced Masin into multi-way intercourse against his will. Masin supported his claims by posting screenshots on Twitter that questioned Dwight's transparency about his sexuality and whether his family and friends were aware of his attraction to transgender women. Obviously, Dwight couldn't explicitly confirm his sexuality on Twitter, but rather he referred to himself as living freely. Yeah, easy for him to say that. Find out why later when we reveal how many women that man slept with. Masin was claiming that Dwight had threatened him into a homosexual relationship against his consent, on top of countless attempts to get all riled up in the bedroom with him. To exacerbate the situation, Masin later filed a lawsuit alleging that the player and his team threatened him for refusing to sign a non-disclosure agreement after their supposed relationship ended. Masin also claimed that Dwight had been having unprotected encounters with several people at parties intended for transgenders and even paid someone to get in bed with him. In response, Dwight countersued Masin for $10 million, citing slander, invasion of privacy, and abusive litigation. He accused Masin of attempting to gain social media fame and advertising his novel industry hoe. Dwight maintained that he suffered significant emotional distress, along with physical and mental harm, due to Masin's allegations and requested that Masin's lawsuit against him be dismissed. In a later interview with Fox Sports 1, Dwight denied being gay and discussed the emotional impact the allegations had on him and those around him.
About whatever they think my personal life is, that's my personal life. Anything private of mine when it comes to who's in my bed or anything like that.
He described experiencing intense hatred from people he had never met and said it was a constant presence wherever he went. This experience led him to realize that fear of public perception can deter people from expressing their true selves. Masin has firmly maintained his allegations, with his tweets asserting the same still visible on his Twitter profile. Regarding Dwight's effort to dismiss the case, a judge ruled in Masin's favor in July 2019, which led to the case proceeding to trial. By March 2020, the legal proceedings were ongoing, but there was little to no progress. The player maintained he had never met Masin, while Masin insisted they were in a relationship. The stalemate resulted from both parties' reluctance to provide any evidence to substantiate their claims. But what is Dwight even hiding from? The whole world knows what he did with women in his life. Remember how I said Dwight's career from Orlando was down and dusted? I take that back. His downfall was already brewing in Orlando. After just 3 years in the NBA, Superman's life took a turn. He became involved with an Orlando Magic cheerleader named Royce Reed. Getting involved is an understatement. Their relationship was so damaging that Reese came up with this statement on her Instagram. Dwight has been a bad daddy. Is it because he is gay? His relationship, or should I say absence-ship, resulted in a significant change in his public image. This man came into the league wanting to be the good boy Christian. More on that right after this. This shift from Bible reader to hoe-getter appalled fans and the media. And Royce is just the tip of the iceberg. His repeated lapses are well documented. Following the birth of a child with Royce, he went on to have children with Tiffany Render, Christine Vest, Hope Alexa, and Melissa Rios. Dwight Howard is a father to 5 children, 3 boys and 2 girls, each from a different mother. His first son, Braylon, was born to Royce Reed, a former Orlando Magic cheerleader, on November 18, 2007. He also has a daughter named Layla, born to Tiffany Render in October 2010. 2 months after Layla, his daughter Jade was born to Hope Alexa, a Canadian fitness enthusiast. His third son, named Dwight III, but often referred to as Trae, was born on June 13, 2013, to Christine Vest. Dwight's youngest child, David, was born to Melissa Rios, a real estate agent, on December 15, 2013. And remember, these are the only women he had children with, not including those he dated without bearing children. His ex-wife appropriately said he is evil. Talking about evil, do you remember Goodbye Christian Dwight? Throughout his pre-Superman life, Dwight Howard has been and a devout Christian, openly expressing his faith. His room bore witness to his devotion with a wooden cross and a framed copy of the Ten Commandments. He prayed twice daily, before school and at bedtime, and actively engaged in church activities, attending Bible study on Tuesdays, teen ministry on Fridays, and church services on Sundays. Raised in a religious environment, this player vowed to uphold his Christian values. In a conversation with BeliefNet, he conceded that he often struggled with sensual temptations, and his primary strategy to cope with them was to avoid potential situations that might lead him astray. Dwight aspired, besides being a superstar athlete, emphasized the importance of being a positive role model. He even proclaimed entering the league as a virgin, aiming to set an example for his young fans and teammates. I wonder, where did Virgin Dwight go? Man lost his virginity to several women, and this next person he had multi-way intercourse with. Just recently, a new series of controversial allegations have surfaced. A man named Stephen Harper has filed a lawsuit against Dwight for assault and battery. Stephen alleged that Dwight coerced him into participating in multi-way intercourse, involving another man dressed as a woman. To support his claim, Stephen presented the court with explicit text messages between himself and Dwight, as per Harper's account in the lawsuit. He initially contacted Dwight on Instagram on May 29, 2021, using a secondary account. Harper alleges that he shared his phone number, to which the basketballer responded via text with a devil emoji. Their conversation continued via text. Through these texts, Dwight expressed interest in unusual sexual practices, while emphasizing that he was not gay, just unconventional. What a lame comeback! Throughout the conversation, Dwight repeatedly coerced Harper into revealing his identity. Harper was backed into a wall and had nowhere to go, and gave in to Dwight's pursuit of his identity. Upon reviewing Harper's primary account, Dwight purportedly expressed interest in receiving illicit photos from Harper. Harper contends that Dwight stated his openness to explicit content and expressed a desire to see nude photos of him. In July 2021, Dwight reached out to Harper, saying he was thinking about him. How many times have we sent that text, huh? Dwight allegedly invited Harper to his Georgia home, assuring Harper that although his son was asleep, he was alone. According to the lawsuit, Dwight ordered Harper to get out of his house before his family woke up. Harper claims that he took an Uber to Dwight's home, during which the basketballer allegedly flooded his inbox, asking if Harper was interested in multi-way intercourse with another woman. Harper asserts that he declined the proposition, but still proceeded to the house. Against Harper's will, Dwight had a man dressed as a woman over and performed multi-way intercourse. Harper was left feeling disgusted and violated the following morning and needed to Uber back home before Dwight woke up. Dwight caught Harper in the act and pulled him back in, and insisted that Harper go back home in the third man's vehicle. Utter torment! Following the publicization of these allegations, Dwight has appeared on various shows and interviews defending his heterosexuality. He says he's not focusing on those who seem to conspire against him. Instead, he was concentrating on launching his new podcast. Amid such scrutiny, the player has chosen not to divulge his personal life to the public. He firmly believes that whatever transpires in his private life, especially regarding who shares his bed, should remain private. Keep to yourself all you want, Dwight. The internet will find out in due time. If you thought Dwight Howard was gay, then you would want to watch this video about Dennis Rodman.